Hello, and welcome to BabyCat Kensington Taproom. My name is Sam, and I'd love to give you a tour of the space. So I've been planning this for a long time. I picked all these design elements. I knew exactly what I wanted this to look and feel like, and with the help of my interior designer, Manny Encarnacion, he helped me put things in the right places. So I like to do the tour from bottom up. So I always like to start by telling people about the footrest. So that is an actual piece of retired CSX train track. And we are right on the train, right on the CSX rail line here. So that's called relay rail. That came from West Virginia. Kimmy Steel, I drove it here. So that piece right there is about 875 pounds. It is not bolted. It's literally just sitting on the floor there. So it was totally rusted out. I bored it off with an angle grinder with a stainless steel brush, painted it, flood coated it with epoxy, and then buffed the top to make it look like that. Really, really, really cool stuff. And there's another small section of it on the other side. So coming up a little bit. So I'm from Pittsburgh, born and raised, Western PA. I really like Amish-made furniture. So the benches here, these are all reclaimed Western PA barnwood, Amish-made, and the bar stools. So we are on the train track. I thought the tufted back kind of gives a old-timey feel, and I wanted them wider. So these were all custom-made bar stools from the Amish as well. And then over the pandemic, I brewed and drank a lot of beer. Cheers. I also got into epoxy river tables, and I built 2 of those, and I met a guy on the phone from Randallstown up a little west of Baltimore named Jason. Jason owns Maker's Wood Shop, and he did all of the millwork, all the woodwork in here. So the bar, all live edge, and the high top and the counter over there, they're all from the same tree. It's all tulip poplar. This bar is very special. So this bar was actually staged right here on the ground, cut, placed, and finished on site. It was 3 guys, 2 12-hour days, and it was one of the coolest processes I've ever seen. So you can see that the bar top is this matte finish. So that's an oil wax, right? There's a brand called Monocoat, right? So that's just one brand. It's an oil wax finish. It gives you that matte sheen. We don't even use coasters. It makes it bulletproof. The wood is very nice. So I have a friend in Pittsburgh who's in a band and a chalk dinosaur. Well, his artist, his name is Pseudo Dudo. That is where all of the can art, all the artwork comes from. And on the can labels, that's all from Pseudo Dudo. You guys pretty much on retainer at this point. I just love the iconic nature of his art. Like, you just look at it and you know exactly what you're looking at. You don't have to guess what is in the can. The live wall was put up by me and my team. That was a lot of work. It is faux. It's not real, but I still water it on occasion, just to water it. That was a joke, for the record. And then, lastly, I love to leave everyone with the main kind of design element that I did. All of the lighting in here is very special. All of the lighting is real. It's authentic, okay? So I met a man in Wisconsin. His name is Rick. He's getting close to 80 now, but Rick has collected lamps his entire life since he was probably a teenager. And everything I'm going to talk about right now came from Rick. Okay, so these 5 matching ones, they were made in 1935. They're called Ivanhoe pendants. They came out of a retired train station in Wisconsin. All of the bulbs and all the lights, they're LEDs. They're all just, ordered online, just LED bulbs. But these are special because they have the original explosion-proof glass globes. So back in the day, incandescent bulbs would randomly explode. So the bulb inside of the globe had to be protected. You can actually see the glass is starting to droop because they're almost 100 years old. All the rust and patina on everything is original. That one hanging over the order counter, that one was made in the 1920s, and Rick found that one hanging off a barn in Minnesota. I love the name of that. That one is called a Capone era ruffled witch hat Benjamin lamp. Yeah, they're all hardened powder coated steel. That one actually has 3 bullet holes in it up underneath. So he said the farmer probably had some funny stories about how his boys were practicing shooting on that lamp. Anyway, and then the kind of crown jewels here inside of the tap room. I am from Pittsburgh, born and raised. I had to do an ode to Pittsburgh, right? These two. So these two were made in 1910. They're 114 years old now. These are from the Pittsburgh Transformer Company. These are called Pittsburgh Street System lamps. So you can actually see this one is exceedingly rare because it still has the spec tag on it that shows the amps, the volts, Pittsburgh Street Series systems. So these were, the cobalt blue shade was designated to hang in the downtown areas. So these hung in the downtown areas of Pittsburgh in the teens, 20s, and 30s, and then they were all cut down and melted to make bullets for World War II. The only ones that made it out were the ones that Yinzers, Pittsburgh people, got up on ladders and cut down and stole. So they are very special and they're very storied. So there's a lot of history in here, and I'm a sucker for antiquities, and it's an antique town. So yeah, I wanted to kind of keep with that theme as well.